It's the most wonderful time of the day where we sit down and talk about video games. It's Colette and Enter the Chat, episode 248. My name is Matt. I'm joined by Colette Bennett. As always, welcome to your own show.
Hello. It is always nice to be here.
You're off from work today for some reason?
I'm off from work today. Yes, my birthday is Sunday, and I decided to take a long weekend and hang out with another friend of mine who actually is a member of our Discord as well.
Scandal.
So we are going to send photos this weekend because his birthday is also Sunday.
The same day. Wow.
Yeah, every year we celebrate and send each other gifts and stuff, but this year we were like, hey, why don't you just come over?
Happy 38th birthday to you.
Thanks. I'll take that. It could not be more wrong, but I'll take it.
36. We have a short-ish one for you today because we are pressed for time and scheduling. I hate to say as usual, we're in this pattern where you have a real job, which is 9 to 5, and that's what normal people do. My job is not necessarily like that, so I have room in my day, my 9 to 5, to record, but you can't do that. Right. And the minute you get off of work, I go into like dad portation mode where I'm driving kids people and I'm catching up on whatever. And so we have a normal recording time every week, and then almost every week it's like, wait, can we move this here? Can we do this? And then you had your plans. We're actually going to see a concert tonight. Ben Folds is in town.
Oh, fun.
And we're big fans, so we're going to see him. Just him, no band, just the piano.
Just him? That's going to be really nice. I love that type of performance where it's just like the performer with an instrument.
Yes. And we've seen him before in that mode. But anyway, and then work is just unhinged right now on my end. You're in the honeymoon phase of your job still, but like has the rubber hit the road where it's like, okay, I signed all the HR papers and I learned all where everyone sits. Now, holy shit, it's kicking off.
I feel like it's going to kick off a lot more after TLDR, this won't be interesting for anybody else, but we are on a CMS that is not WordPress, and we will...
Oh, this is very interesting to me.
Well, to you, because you're a media person. If you're a media person, for people who are listening who are not media people, working in any back end, which means where we write the stories so we can put them out into the world so you see them on the website, any back end that is not WordPress is a load of hot trash.
Let's talk about CMSs for like the next hour. Can we?
We'd probably lose all of our like 8 listeners. But anyway,
so what is the okay.
They're on a custom made WordPress.
This is what I'm
WordPress.
asking.
They're on a custom made back end that is that makes every broken CMS I have ever worked in before look fabulous.
This is so funny and interesting to me because when websites have been around for a long, long time, it can be very hard they have thousands, perhaps millions of pages on their website domain.
Yeah.
And to change the CMS is like a massive,
a huge
Herculean undertaking, expensive and fraught with danger from both a website stability and like SEO and all that.
And then put on top of that GameSpot is very old. It was founded in the 90s. So, I mean, a lot of the really old stuff is probably gone already. I don't know.
That's also an interesting question. But so for listeners who don't give a shit about what we're talking about here, it's like, so you can either invest thousands and gajillions of dollars in like probably breaking your website and damaging the traffic irreparably, or you can just keep on using a shitty ass CMS from 2002, and that's a tough decision, but they're staying the course. It sounds like.
Yeah, they are, and I have to hand it to them. Like they made a custom CMS, like it's our own, and it's a great idea in principle, but it's just not working out long term. So anyway, the long story short version of this is we're going through big changes, and I feel like there'll be a new wave of what my job is like after that part is done, and that's happening on Monday night. So
Totally. When you say big changes, though, are they changing some of that tech, or is it more just like
more that like there's a lot
personnel?
of operational things within my particular department that it's like, well, we're not going to try to plan to do that, or we're not going to try to plan to bring new people on because why would we train them on a CMS we're not going to use anymore?
I know
So it's a
that's
lot of kind of
really
like holding pattern stuff,
totally, yeah, it's tricky.
and so it's very transitional. But overall, I mean, I can't complain. I still get to write about, video game things, and I am fine with that. So
Building a custom CMS was a cool and good thing in
at one
the mid
time,
2000s because the off the shelf things or the corporate versions may or may not have had the features. So if you wanted to innovate or you wanted to like create a workflow for your team that was very like highly specialized and you had tech that could be customized, like that is so awesome. And
right.
now
That's
the
why I don't
web,
want to diss them for building their own, because
no,
I
definitely
think
not.
that that's awesome that they built their own at one time, and it may have worked at one time.
But now the web is so
It's changed a lot.
standardized and dynamic where like I think once HTML5 came out, it was like, whoa, I can put anything I want onto this page and it will just kind of automatically go bloop. If I want to look at a video on a big screen, bloop, it'll go
Yep.
like this. If I want to look on a phone, bloop, it'll go like this. And so normal off the shelf WordPress CMSs can just kind of do all this and it's like super easy now.
Right.
And that custom thing you built back in 2009 is like, oh, it doesn't really do all these things and we got to bash our face against it every day to make it do
Exactly
this
right.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, exactly right. So it is, it is what it is. It is the thing we will get through. I have been through migrations before with other places I've worked, so I am not really freaked by it.
It's also
But
not your problem. Like this is a freak out for
oh,
the engineers, you know what I mean?
well, it's very much my problem because I
Mm,
can't publish anything until no one can
yes.
publish anything
That
until.
I mean like it's not let me retread that. It's not your responsibility in a way. If you can't publish, that's just you waiting for engineers to like work out the kinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I mean, it's media is such a world, and it is such a different world now than it was even when you and I met in
Oh,
media.
easily.
So yeah, it's just it's stuff that I think is probably inside baseball to most people that probably don't care about it as
We
much.
should.
But
I'll just define because I work on other podcasts where I have no idea what the people are talking about, and I'm like, "What is that acronym? Like, what are you saying? What is this? Can you define that?" And so, CMS is a content management system,
that's
friends.
correct. Everything that if you listen to this podcast that you have ever read that I have written that has been on the internet has been written in a content management system and then published onto the web.
Yeah, I mean, even the hosting platform that we would use to publish these episodes, like the feed is an RSS feed, but the website that I use to put the MP3s and the art into the thing is a CMS. It's not WordPress, but it is a
Mm-hmm.
podcast CMS. YouTube is a CMS. It's
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is the biggest CMS on planet Earth,
Yeah, a
arguably.
lot of people don't realize that they're consuming tons of content every day that's being produced using this tool.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. I read somewhere. I'm not going to
EG,
quote the exact stat, but there was something. Is your cat
I'm listening. Well,
escaping?
Tara had asked for cat
Oh
sightings, and
yes,
so I thought instead of cats just passing, that you know, I could hold a cat up for her from time to
yeah.
time.
Oh, absolutely. Please,
So,
please.
but he's now leaving, so
Yeah,
it'll
he'll be
have to be
back.
the next pass.
They'll be back. Um, what was I about to tell you?
You were about to say that. Well, no, that's a few moments back.
Oh, that word. There was something recently about something about a change to WordPress sites or the WordPress CMS, and I think it was specifically related to hosted sites or something. But WordPress, the company, which is owned by Automatic, and they also bought Tumblr back when Tumblr was in its troubled times.
Oh,
So
okay.
WordPress is a product, Tumblr is a product, Automatic is the parent company of these, and they probably
Yeah.
own other stuff. Anyway, something like people were displeased with something that WordPress changed about their product. I
Mhm.
don't remember what it was. And that led to people being like, holy shit, like 80% of the internet is hosted on 80% of the text and image things on the web are connected to WordPress in some way. And it was this, and I'm actually gonna not say the stat, like I'm saying 80, but I don't know that that's true. So don't quote
A
me on this. But
lot.
it was a real stat that was like, holy shit. A large and majority percentage of all the web pages that you look at on the web, this is not TikTok, this is not YouTube, I'm saying text and images on a page, are managed in WordPress as a CMS.
Mhm.
And this led whoever was talking about it to be like, so like WordPress can flip a switch and change a huge portion of the internet at will.
Yes.
And that was quite scary, terrifying. No one company should control that much of the web is the point that they're making.
I agree with that. And actually, as much as I feel like a lot of the CMS conversation is inside baseball, that part may be interesting to a lot of folks who did not realize what a large portion,
I did not realize it.
yeah,
Had no
what a
clue.
large portion of what they're consuming is hosted on WordPress.
Yes.
So,
And then you can make the distinction like, is the data hosted on WordPress the company's servers? That's how most amateurs do it. But then you're also using the tools to manage the content, but the data is stored on your servers. That's how corporations do it at the enterprise level, so that you're not beholden to outages or whatever.
makes you wonder
Um,
how WordPress does it. Because, I mean, knowing that you have that much of the internet in your hands.
well, and so I will, I don't really know. B, I'll clarify. I'm sure all this shit is hosted on Amazon Web Services. So that's the other. So the
That would make
majority of the
sense.
stuff is living on Amazon servers for sure. But the point that they were trying to make is that that almost any web page you look at is like managed by WordPress as a
Mhm.
CMS to,
Mhm.
as you're saying. Um,
I'm going to
so
Google
anyway,
this after we are finished recording because I want to now know how WordPress handles the storage of the massive amount of the web that it's
yeah, well, I guess
facilitating.
my point is that they're not storing it. The Amazon Web Services or other large hosting infrastructure platforms
Would be
are storing
storing
the
it,
data, but the this is so in the weeds inside baseball. I apologize to everyone listening, but
but you can't stop.
I am using WordPress to typey all my text into the content management system. I'm uploading my pictures, and all that data goes to Amazon servers. But WordPress, the program, is the thing that displays it
Right,
onto a website.
right.
Um, and so I think people were upset that like WordPress they made a change maybe to their TOS or maybe to some feature that was like, shit, this will. It was scary to content creators and media that like, whoa, they could just do whatever and we have to deal with it. It wasn't necessarily a bad thing. It was just like, whoa, you know. I'm gonna
Hmm.
look this up
Yeah, I will
as
too.
we're
That's
talking. But anyway,
interesting to me.
well, enough about that. We have to get to. I'm gonna say we got to get to the news. It's been a week here, a little bit. I feel like there's been
Yes,
ups and downs, a
there have
lot of
been some ups and
emotional roller
downs.
coasters here. At least where I'm sitting.
Yeah, I think that the biggest up is the Steam controller. I would
Yeah.
say that is my
Well, it's
opinion.
the biggest up and the biggest down.
Up until this morning, but I think that you had success, yes, even though you couldn't reserve one
Well,
at first, or no?
I mean, I'll share the tale that I'm sure many listeners and many people across the internet have experienced. Did you try to buy it on the day?
I
You,
didn't. I
okay.
had planned to originally, and I thought about it a lot, and I decided that I was going to wait to hear the reviews of a few more people
Sure.
that I trusted before I went there. Not that I think that it will be anything less than stellar, but
Totally.
for me to get to, it is going to be $200,
Yeah.
and there are some other things that I should be spending $200 on right now.
Well, great news. You didn't miss anything because it was nearly impossible to get the Steam controller. This was was it Monday or Tuesday of this week? I'm looking back at my calendar. It was Monday the 4th. Yes, it was May the 4th. May it be with us all. Steam controller officially went on sale, $99. And I'll just share from my personal point of view, like it's hard to get excited about things sometimes. Like we are all spoiled. These are all very first world problems. We have any media and technology at our fingertips, and yet we are sort of bored and numb to most of it, which is a 20th and 21st century privilege problem, of course. But the reason I'm saying that is because like the Steam controller is the first thing in a very long time that I'm like, I am so excited for this. Like, it will fundamentally change how I approach my gaming lifestyle. It will change the sort of gaming diet that I have, because there are games on my wish list that are like, I'm super into this, but I can't quite make it work with a standard controller. I don't really want to play it on the Steam Deck necessarily. I want to be on my couch kind of playing a big grand strategy game with a haptic pad or whatever.
Yeah.
And there are many other features about this controller that I specifically am very, very excited about. I cannot overstate the versatility and power of this device. And we know it will be great, not just because like, oh, Valve's great, or the reviews are really, really great and solid, but like the Steam Deck is fucking amazing. Like when you fully dig in and understand how Steam input works and how precise and sensitive these touchpads and how versatile they are, it's amazing. And not only that, they added even more features into the Steam controller, which we talked a little bit about last week. So it's like across the board, it's like, this is the thing that I want this is the physical object that I want the most in this world. If that, aside from, $1
million,
food and whatever else
right.
the fuck the kids need or whatever. And so, you are excited it's Christmas morning. Monday the 4th at 1 p.m. Eastern was like Christmas morning for people like us, where it was like, it's finally here. I'm logged in. I've loaded my Steam wallet. I'm ready to buy this singular thing. And as we all rushed to get it, it was just this terrible experience that was like, we don't know what's wrong. Something's wrong. Try again. And it wasn't like, it's demand, obviously, that's the reason. But when it's just a pet peeve of mine of like a website fails, like you're trying to do something on the internet and a website's like, I don't know, try, something's wrong. And you're like, well, what's wrong? And it's like, I don't know. I hate Apple for these reasons. They never clarify what the error message is. They're just kind of like, this didn't work.
This didn't work.
Fuck you. So that was what was happening with the Steam controller, and basically
I'm listening. Keep talking.
Please, no, let's get these cats in here. The entire internet was like, it's not working. We can't get it. I can't get it. There you go, Pyra. Which one? Which cat is this?
This is Ichi.
Ichi's here.
He just turned 11.
Which is a robust age for a cat, but not over the hill, I would say.
Yes, thank you for reminding me of that. I'm like, he's 11.
No.
Anyway,
I keep encountering friends and acquaintances that's like, my dog is 18 years old and on life support. I'm like, wow. My dog takes 8 1,000 medications that cost us $10,000 a month, but
Still alive.
he's still here.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I can't do that. Anywho, everyone was refreshing their cart to try to understand, like, do I just keep clicking the button? Should I wait? Should I buy one? Should I buy two? Should I pay with a credit card? Should I pay with a Steam wallet? And so like you just start seeing all the same screenshots on Discord and Reddit. And then and it's basically was within 30 minutes of them going on sale. It was like, and they're out of stock. And they were gone. But then the button sort of was out of stock, but then it sort of came back into stock. But was it really in stock, or was it just a website glitch? So throughout the day, it was kind of like holding on to hope that maybe you could grab one, but maybe you could sneak through. And what bothered me, this is my therapy session here, is that I did everything right, which was I've been a Steam customer for like 12 years, probably spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on Steam over many, many years, including Steam Deck and many games and whatever. My profile's in good standing. I prepaid into my Steam wallet, so the money would be like right there, like so that we could grab it right away. And I was there, I had the Steam controller in my cart even like 2 to 3 minutes before it was officially live. So like I did everything correctly. And then other people who clicked the button a millisecond before or after I clicked the button got it, and I did not get it. And then after that, it was like, it's sold out. We don't know when it's back. We'll talk to you later. And then the kicker, the part that is, and this is like just what, this is demand, this is ordering on the internet, this is a tales all the time. But then within minutes, you see Steam controllers on eBay for $300.
Yep.
And that's where all the sort of anger came out in the like the Reddit discussion, which was like, fuck these scalpers. How can we report these scalpers? They ruined it for everyone. And I'm really not blaming Valve, but it's a shame they did not implement sort of like one per customer. You need to have an account in good standing. Yes. You need to have purchased on Steam in the last 3 days to make sure that these are not bot farms, whatever. And they have done that now. They did a reservation system today. We are recording this on Friday.
Yeah.
And so now we're in the queue. I've reserved one, but there is no clear indication when they will be actually back in stock. Or did I hit the button a millisecond after 500,000 other people? They misunderstood the demand, I think, is the moral of the story, and they've copped to that.
Well, and sometimes the demand outweighs the capability of the company. So let me tell a brief story about how every time I ticket for BTS in the last 11 years.
Yep.
It goes exactly like this, except you put tickets in your cart. You think you have the seats. You try to check out. They won't check out. You can't check out. It says the tickets have disappeared from your cart. You try again and again. I have seen the entire stadium sell in 7 minutes before, and then seen within 20 minutes, scalpers list the tickets on eBay. Now, mind you, some of these tickets cost $200, $300, $400 at rip. I've seen them relisted on eBay within the hour for as much as $5,000.
Oh my God. What?
And I've also met people at concerts, parents.
Who did it? Who paid it?
Yep. Because their kid burst into tears when they realized they wouldn't be able to go. And all that little 10-year-old wanted was to see BTS on stage. So sadly, had I chosen to join this war, if I had not gotten the controller, it would just be like, oh, well, at least the stakes aren't as high as they normally are.
Totally. How do we fix this? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in my case with the tickets, I mean, Ticketmaster would have to fix it, and they are, evil and being forced to do some fixing
and
after many years.
They're complicit in the reseller system as well, which we've learned over the recent
I don't think any of those problems are the case with Valve. I think
certainly not.
they've certainly sold plenty of hardware before. Well, not plenty, but I would say enough. I think that maybe they, did it and they thought, okay, a lot of people will want this, but it is $100 controller. Some people did say that was expensive.
Right.
So maybe they thought, okay, like we'll sell it, of course, we'll sell out, of course, but it's not going to be crazy. It was crazy. Then they were like, oh no, we have so many faithful Steam users who didn't get it. And that was what the reservation system was about.
And
That's my opinion.
I think you're 100% right. That's my assumption too. I don't think they did anything ill. That they
no, and they're trying
malicious.
to fix it, which I appreciate. I agree there should have been forethought, but there's a lot of economic climate things too, right?
100%.
Like people really struggling to buy entertainment. I saw a study the other day that was like 70% of gamers are no longer buying full price games. Like they're
Why the fuck would you?
So I think there were a lot of other concerns that they may have factored in, and they may have just miscalled how high the demand
isn't that interesting? Because when you think about the value of a piece of hardware like this, it's like, okay, am I going to pay $70 for a new release game? No, I'm going to wait 3 months and I'll get it for 45 or whatever. That's a no-brainer. But this is a thing that I will hold in my hand and use to play video games probably for 10,000 hours of my life. So $99 is a great bargain for a controller that does all the things that it does, which we've talked about. What you said, what you're talking about with the BTS thing, makes me think like, if only there was a way to gauge interest, and companies have done this before of like, hey, we're going to release this product. We'll let you know when it's out. Are you interested in this? Like, let us know if you're interested. So that'll kind of inform how much we make. And I'm like, why didn't they do that? And they actually did.
They should have. Oh, they did.
Well, they didn't formally do it, but they have wish lists. Like, it's been, when they announced it, they made a web page and then it was like, add to your wish list. So all 3 hardware devices are on my Steam wish list. So like,
could do that.
This is a very interesting question. That would be this would be a very interesting question for like a Valve marketer or engineer of like, okay, how many people have wishlisted this item, so you theoretically have like put that many and probably a little more in the warehouse, right? And so from there, it's like, all right, we're ready to ship. And then all of a sudden you get double or triple that amount of purchases or something. So the question that in my mind is like, okay, did lots of people who didn't have it in their wish lists suddenly start seeing reviews and get aware of it and were like, ooh, I want that too. And then they bought it too. Plausible. And or was it like, we know the demand, we know the wish list, we have this many, but what actually happened is a bunch of bots and scalpers got in there fast and snatched a statistically significant portion away from the user base.
Yeah, I'm at a point where I think when you're dealing with this type of item, or the concert tickets or anything like that, there need to be a lot of safeguards in place to keep the scalping from happening.
Yeah.
And I think, I know I've kind of given Valve a little bit of a pass in this, but I do think that the scalper issue is so consistent and so bad across so many. Basically, if a thing is limited in any way, you can expect it to be scalped. So I really think that there do need to be precautions in place.
And the system for the reservation, which they announced yesterday, the day before, it went into effect today. It's like, you must have an account in good standing. You must have an account for a certain amount of time, and you must have made a purchase on Steam before April 27th or something. And that makes me wonder, I wish there was a way to do that for concert tickets. I wish there was a way for hardcore BTS fans to sort of like be subscribed to something, not paid, because you don't want to do that to your fan club.
Here's what they do. So if there is a fan club. If you're in the fan club, you get early access to tickets. You get to buy tickets 3 days before anyone else. That's called the Army membership presale. So you get the best choices of tickets.
Is that a paid membership, the fan club? It is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it costs, it's not super expensive. I think it costs like $30 a year, $20 a year, and they
Which
mail
is
you a bunch
great.
of
Yeah.
goodies. But yeah, you would have to pay for it.
Yep.
So I think that that helps to gate some of it off. And I have never, in all these years, I've had once or twice where I've had to buy on the aftermarket, but for the most part, because they have multiple dates in multiple cities, I've gotten the tickets.
Yes.
Because I've always traveled, so it's not like I
Mm.
was just limited to seeing them in Atlanta, you
Yeah,
know.
totally.
But yeah, like these are all huge problems that I think that these companies have to come up with systems for. And what I'm hoping is that Valve takes this cue and what they've done in the aftermath with the reservation system and gets really smart about when the Steam machine drops,
Oh, for
because
sure.
I really think that it's going to go off when it's for
Oh,
the Steam
no doubt.
machine. I
And
do.
they keep seeing these rumory leak things that are like out of the supply chain of like, oh, Valve has 50,000 game consoles on a manifest plopping into a warehouse in California on this date or that date. Meaning, like, we assumed the Steam machine was further away because of various pricing pressures and RAM shortages, but people are speculating, not
Right.
confirmed, that like the boats are coming in with the boxes now, and that could mean we get an announcement next week. It could mean we get an announcement a month from now. It could mean that they were going to announce next week, and now they're like, holy shit, demand is way higher than we expected. We got to make more of these before we release or whatever.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to see. But at any rate, I'm glad that at least the reservation system allowed you to get one. I know you wanted two,
I'm
but
fine with one. It's nice to at least know, because like I guess in the previous system it's like it's in my cart but I can't get it. Oh, it's not in my cart but I can add it to cart, but it's out of stock, but it's in my cart. It's like this frustrating confusion of like, if I can't get it, just tell me I can't. Just let's just move on, you know.
yeah.
And now with the reservation system, it's like, okay, I have no idea when I will get the email, but theoretically, I am in a queue and my
Yeah,
place
at
is
least you're in a
reserved.
queue, and that's and so with the reservation system, do you pay for it in advance or do you pay for it when it
Nope.
ships?
You get, I think, like you get an email when your number is up, and then you have
Okay.
72 hours to
Okay.
lock it down. I think. I'll triple
Interesting.
check that.
Interesting.
You will have 3 days to complete the transaction at that time. When Steam Controller is available, we will send you a separate email to complete your purchase. You will have 3 days to complete the transaction. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
anyway,
Well, maybe
all of
I will
this,
reserve one then, because if I don't have to pay
just
for it
get in
right now,
line.
why not?
Absolutely. Because,
Yeah.
but you know what? You should do it, because by the time it comes around, you will have probably made your decision whether you want it or not.
No,
And
I
then
know I
even,
want it. It's not that. It's that I needed to pay credit card bills first.
yeah,
So I'm like, if I don't have to pay for it today, then
no.
I'll get on the reservation list.
Yeah, because a month from now, then you'll be ready to do whatever you need to do.
Exactly.
So all this is just dumb first world privilege problems, but I really want it.
Well, you're allowed to bitch about it. And, I think that I'm very amused by the fact that I, in telling this story about BTS tickets, have realized that I've been horrifically scarred by that system, and that I would just be like, oh, I didn't get a controller, too bad, because I didn't have to go to war, like, over the
Yeah,
item.
it's you know what, I'm honing in on it. My entire day on Monday revolved around making this purchase, if for
Yeah.
better or worse. So
Waiting for that time drop,
for my
waiting.
dumb child brain, dopamine brain, it was like waking up on Christmas morning and being so excited, and you run downstairs and it's an empty box. That's the feeling I had on Monday.
Sucks.
It's a
Fucking
feeling of
sucks,
immense
man.
disappointment and frustration,
I get it. I get it. Yeah.
in a world of endless frustrations and disappointments, but that's another story. All right. The other news item here that we have to just talk about a little bit is that Nintendo, our friends over there in Kyoto, are they in Kyoto or Tokyo?
I can't remember.
They were like, "Hey, here's a Star Fox Direct," and
With no warning.
the entire internet was like, "What? Okay."
Well, okay, as a first of all, let me just clarify for listeners. I've
Mm-hmm.
never played a Star Fox game in my
Mm-hmm.
life. So, when was the last Star Fox game released? How
Oof,
long has
great,
it been? How
great
long has it
question.
been?
I'll have to pull that up. This
But it's
guy's
been a
not here to
while,
educate.
right?
Oh, for sure. But there are caveats to that. Well, there's a couple caveats to that. Let's talk about it briefly. Okay. I'm on the Wikipedia. Come on, Wikipedia. Can we do dark mode here? I don't know how to do it. Anyway. Oh, I got it. Just looking at the discography, if we want to call it that. Obviously,
Yeah.
the first one is the Orig, which is Super Nintendo in '93.
Okay.
Then Star Fox 64 in '97. Something called Star Fox Adventures in '02. Star Fox Assault in '05, followed by Star Fox Command in '06. 2011 brings us Star Fox 64 3D. I have no fucking clue what that is. Oh, it's 3DS. Okay, this is where this all gets it into it. This is a remake of Star Fox 64 from 97, but for the 3DS. Then
Okay.
Star Fox Zero, which is 2016, which is co-developed by Platinum. That's interesting. Released and is a reimagining of Star Fox 64. What platform is this for, though? Hold on. Oh, the Wii. The Wii. Okay, the Wii U. So in 2011, they remake Star Fox 64 for the 3DS. In 2016, they reimagined Star Fox 64 for the Wii U, a console no one had. Then in 2016, Star Fox Guard, a tower defense video game co-developed by Nintendo Platinum, another game for the Wii U, but it's a tower defense game. Then 2017, which is when yes. Okay. This is very interesting. Star Fox 2 was developed for the Super Nintendo, but never released. I don't remember why. I guess they just killed it before it came out, but it was basically complete. And what they did was when Switch Online came out, like the retro emulator in the original Switch, this is 2017, the launch year of the Switch. They released Star Fox 2, which is an unreleased Super Nintendo game, onto the Super Nintendo emulator on Switch.
Okay.
That's 2017. Nothing that I'm seeing between then and now in 2026.
So close to 10 years.
This new Star Fox game that came without warning, but with a little bit of warning, because if you saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie, why would you? You have no children. But if you have seen it, as I have, you will learn that Star Fox is not only like a cameo character, but like a major plot point character, like takes up a large chunk of the movie. And honestly, it was kind of the funniest, coolest part of the movie because I like spaceships, and things in outer space, and it's great. I like spaceship action scenes. The other thing I will add here is that okay, this is actually really funny to mention. This is boots on the ground reporting, friends. Star Fox has been in many / all of the Smash Brothers games, especially Smash Ultimate, as a playable fighter. So
Okay.
literally, I am in the movie theater watching the Galaxy movie on opening week with a bunch of 10-year-olds and many other children in the theater with me. And I can hear out loud when Star Fox appears. These are children who have never played a Star Fox game. They don't know what Star Fox is for the N64 or the Super Nintendo. All of the children in this theater were like, "Whoa, it's Star Fox from Smash Brothers." So I instantly in real time saw the Nintendo sort of like transmedia monolith being like, we put this is a character nobody cares about except boomers like us who had Super Nintendos, but we peppered him into other media franchises, other video games over the years, into games that kids love. And now kids love the Mario movie, even though they have never, they may or may not care about Mario video games. And now we're putting Star Fox, a character they don't know, into the movie, which references the Smash Brothers ecosystem.
It's really
And
smart.
now, after the movie's out, Nintendo's like, guess what? We made a new Star Fox game, which is both, hey, boomers, you love Star
Oh,
Fox. Let's make a new Star Fox game. Hey, kids, you know Star Fox from Smash Brothers and this gajillion-dollar movie that just came out. Let's do Star Fox.
wow.
And they had this direct, and they revealed the game. And guess what game it is?
It's a
It's a
remake.
remake of Star Fox 64, which they've already remade
Twice?
3 other times, 4 other times.
So they weren't going to try to do some from scratch thing. They were just going to be like, let's just pull this out again, but clean it up.
There is nothing I want more than a spaceship shooter game, a modern spaceship squadron based game. And I will take it in a Star Wars mode, or I'll take it in a Star Fox mode. And this was their opportunity to make some epic thing. But instead, they seem to have spent an enormous amount of time and money and effort to make a spectacular looking game with these fucking off the chain cinematic cutscenes and character voice dialogue and all this stuff that looks amazing for a game that came out in 1997.
Well, I will say this as a person that has never played a Star Fox game, the day that I think I either woke up or had been at work and not able to look at the Discord for like hours, coming to see the chat about Star Fox Direct was truly, I enjoyed it greatly because it was like a lot of people melting down, like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? And then like just people discussing like the character models and stuff. Like, it was great.
I think the cinematics look awesome. I think the voice acting and the story or whatever, it looks great. I fucking love Slippy the frog. Like his vibe and his voice actor is so good. Like I love everything about this. But they put this like cinematic animated packaging and graphical fidelity wrapped around a game that when they cut to the gameplay footage in this direct, it looks so slow and boring to me. Because you see in the cinematics, it's like, we got to get down there, Fox, cover me. And they like fly these, these starfighters down into the trench. And it's like, well, let's go. And it's like it's an action movie. It's Top Gun. It's
But with
Star
Fox.
Wars. And you cut to the gameplay and it's like, boop, 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 flying down in a canyon, shooting a blob. Like, I'm like, what?
Why?
It's so disconnected from reality. And then the internet discourse, which has been happening in our Discord, but also on the wider web, is like, who is this for? The
Kids?
boomers who love Star Fox, like us, we've already played this game 600 times. I have not, but the people who love it. And for newer players who you're trying to bring into the fold of this franchise, it's like, this game looks boring as fuck in a modern context. It does not appeal. And it's going to be $60. $50 digitally, $60 for a physical. I'm going to pay full price for a remake of a game that is an okay game that is an on-rails shooter from 1997?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Okay, random related topic.
Mm-hmm.
Choose a Nintendo first party property or a Nintendo original IP that will never be made into a movie that you wish would be made into a movie.
Ooh,
I have mine. Would you like me to stimulate your brain by
start, please? Yes.
Punch Out?
I mean, look, Punch Out is just Rocky. So the movie already exists.
But I'm just
right?
saying, like, can you imagine how fun that would be to watch, like the fights, especially like the Soda Popinski fight,
I know, to see
or
those characters.
you
I
know,
mean,
the
look,
Bald Bull fight. Like
they
all of those would
make
just be a blast.
they have made and are making the Street Fighter movies and Mortal Kombat movies, which is like,
Yeah,
hey,
but the
these
last
dumb
Punch
cartoon
Out game
characters.
hasn't been in a long
No,
time.
I agree.
That's why I think they would never. But like when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, man, what would be like the sickest? Like Hotel Dusk would be another one that I'd love to see as like a noir
That's
movie, which
really
will
funny.
never, ever,
But
ever happen.
are we talking exclusively Nintendo first party? Is Hotel
That was,
Dusk a Nintendo thing? We talked
yeah,
about
they
it
made
last
it.
week. It is a Nintendo thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would make a great noir detective thing.
It would. It would
Especially
make a really
animated.
great noir detective movie. It made me think about trying to think what else. Oh, like Luigi's Mansion, like how fun that would be as a movie. I would totally go see that.
Man,
movie.
they should spin the Mario movie franchise out into like a TV show. That's Luigi's Mansion.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
that'd be fun.
It wouldn't be on Disney Plus. I guess it would be on Peacock or whatever because it's Universal. But yeah, that'd be great.
Or like I'd watch any Yoshi movie about him doing literally anything. Yoshi goes to the laundromat. I'd watch it.
I know.
Listeners, I need to hear what your Nintendo movie that you would love that would never get made is.
My answer, which no longer applies, is Zelda, because it is such a silent protagonist. Zelda feels to me like it only works in the mode from an emotional storytelling perspective. Zelda, the vibe of Zelda feels like it only works in the modality of the games, and it works beautifully in the latest games, of course.
You say that until you see the movie, and then I think when you see the movie, you will probably be like, "Oh wow, I just experienced it."
I'm really want to believe that the movie is going to be great. I'm excited. I as with most people, I think we all kind of assumed and hoped it would be an anime or animated style movie because it's so fantastic. It's so painterly and whimsical. There's something about the Zelda style that doesn't feel like real life. And so to see these characters alive on screen is I don't know what to make of that until we actually see it.
We shall wait and see. But I have some faith that I will find it enjoyable.
No,
you know,
I
as a person who has loved Zelda since I've been like 7.
No doubt.
I think it'll be enjoyable to see it brought to life. And I think personally, I feel like video game movies have taken a real turn for the better.
Yeah.
So I think that there's a very good chance that it could be actually really enjoyable. Except for the Silent Hill films, which I highly advocate that no one ever watched.
This is news to me that that even exists.
Oh boy. Well, we're going to save that for another time when we have more time to talk.
What I'll say about the Nintendo side of things is that I know the Mario movies get a lot of shit, but they are very good.
They're very good
children's movies.
Yeah. They're very good.
Very
movies.
fun. They're beautiful. They're stunning, and they bring the characters to life impeccably. And I really, many thousands of people make a movie like this, but you can just sense that like Miyamoto and co are literally up Illumination's ass, making sure that it's exactly right. And it's achieved. Like they didn't let another studio run amok with the characters. They let them, it looks and feels like a Minions movie, but it is deeply Nintendo in a good way. And my prayer is that this also happens with Zelda as well.
It probably will.
Yeah. So to answer your question, like, I mean, I guess I'll say Metroid, because
Metroid would be sick.
There you could do well, but yeah, I think it will never get made because like Metroid just isn't big enough. It's just not big enough, and also they fucking really whiffed with Prime 4. Like every day I'm like, remember when I spent $60 on Metroid Prime 4 and played like an hour of it and have no wish to go back to it? Like, it's like,
it's the worst feeling.
I'm such a fucking sucker.
It's true. Well, you're not a sucker. You expect better. Also, my last vote for movie that will never get made
Yes.
is Animal Crossing. What a delight that would be.
Yeah, but if there's no story there, you'd have
We
to
would
come
make a
up with
story, my
something.
friend.
Yes, you
There's
need some
no, technically,
writers.
there's no story to Zelda either, other than Link saves Zelda in every game in some way.
Yes and no. Tears of the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom
It
have
does,
that's the
but I
movie
mean,
that has to happen. Is that those are
look,
the
if someone can
stories.
make a fucking movie about Tetris and come up with a story, I'm pretty sure that Animal Crossing could come up with a story.
Yeah, but the Tetris. I haven't seen the Tetris movie. The Tetris movie is about the human beings that made Tetris and how they had
all
to
right,
escape
well,
from the
that's
Russian
legit.
government. You know.
That's legit.
Um. Um. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we might want to even expand this question out to all games, all franchises, not just Nintendo.
That'd be fun. I mean, we could absolutely throw this as a question in the podcast channel in the Discord,
Yeah.
because I think it would be really fun to hear everybody's answers.
They're making a Mass Effect movie or show. Yeah. They made a Halo thing, but that I guess didn't. I feel like it came and went, and I don't remember anyone talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, what do I want though? What do I want? No, the true answer to what do we want a movie made of is Expedition 33, and like, I think there have been talks. Someone somewhere has to have come to them and said, like, what do you think? Can we do this?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go for that, but I
Really?
mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not having conversations with them, but it is my opinion that certain stories are most impactful when you spend a longer amount of time with the characters, and
Yeah.
that is not possible in a 2-hour movie. A lot of adaptions where they try to squish a really good book, especially Stephen King books, into
Sure.
movies, they cut out all the time you spend with the characters, and then you don't care what happens to them because you haven't had the time to develop
I think that is a difficult line to walk. So
Mhm.
that leads me to my question to you as a Dune fan of, like, are you satisfied that three very long Dune movies? Is it three? Have they made the third one? Or is the third one on its way, probably?
I can't remember. I think there were 3, but I can't I think the third one might be on. The third one's on the way. The third one's on the way. So I am satisfied. But I feel like the movies are long enough. And also, they cut the first movie into 2 movies. They cut the first book into
The
2
first
movies.
book. Okay.
That I think that they were able to adapt. Like, yes, they cut out scenes that are kind of more important. What they did was smart. They cut out scenes that are important in getting to know more of the evil forces' intentions.
Right.
And I think that when it comes to the evil forces, you're not going to develop a relationship with them anyway, other than
right,
disliking them.
Totally.
So if you're going to cut stuff like that out, that's
that they're
smart.
bad and that it's that
Totally.
things are desperate.
But like, really, your main relationship in Dune is with Paul Atreides, and you do spend the entire both
You're
movies with him through, kind of looking through his eyes. So I think it works. But yeah, the adaptions, this is something that famously Stephen King adaptions get wrong, really wrong.
I'm not a screenwriter, but I get this feeling that the craft of screenwriting has matured a little bit over the last 2 decades, so that I think there are very talented people in Hollywood, when activated properly, who can get at the emotional heart of a story in a way without needing to spend 5 novels or 30 hours with a game. But it's very delicate. It's very precise.
It's very delicate. I was actually thinking about this with Zach Kreger after the Resident Evil trailer came out, because there was a lot of discourse about that. And not that Resident Evil is about deeply connecting, although there are certainly some connections with some characters that are important to people. But I was thinking about how fantastic of a job he did in both Barbarian and Weapons, which I rewatched within the last week, of his show not tell is so powerful that he can, through a character's expression or a single reaction, communicate so much about that character or that character's relationship with another. And that is really powerful storytelling that a lot of people don't know how to do.
And it's that cannot be done by a single person. So it is the writing,
Yep.
it is the actor
Yep.
understanding the assignment deeply, and then you have to have a great director understanding that when the actor looks over here, the next shot is looking at the thing that matters, because that keeping that, I am a director, but I don't make movies, but like keeping that shit straight in your mind as you're making anything like a
Mm-hmm.
video is so hard.
And
And when
also the
it's done,
unsung editors, which Patrick and I
and
had a
oh,
conversation about
thank
this
you,
the other day,
100%.
about how everyone knows the directors. No one knows who the editors are that choose to edit these films in such a way or shows or whatever, where you're like, oh my God, that timing is perfect.
Yep.
But you're never going to see them because they have a very behind the scenes.
I've often heard editing described, and I'm sure listeners have heard this too, but like when editing is very good, you don't see it.
No.
But when
That's
editing
why
is
people don't
bad,
think about editors.
that's exactly,
With
yeah.
books too.
Sure.
Like,
Totally.
I
Totally.
mean,
Anything.
anything.
But when it's bad, you're like, oh my God, with the pacing,
Someone should have cut
this
that.
music sucks. What's this? Yeah.
Yep. That's right. Someone should have cut that.
Okay. I will need to head out shortly. Listeners, tell us what game should be a movie, but never would.
I think we should open the floor. I agree with you in the podcast channel to anything that came out on Nintendo, not just first party games, not just IPs. What do you wish would be a movie that is never getting made? That's the stipulation. It's not getting made.
Something else that I'm thinking about with Expedition 33 that I find quite interesting and a bit of a bummer is like Expedition 33 was the biggest thing in our world, in our lives, in our media lives for a good hot minute, probably 2 to 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certainly in yours as someone who really went hard on the game, right? And they had immense success from a financial point of view. Mm-hmm. However, how many human beings actually played this game and cared about it? 3 million, 5 million, maybe 10. I don't remember what the sales figures were.
The last sales figure was like 9 or 10 million, I think.
Yeah. So that is a wild success for an indie video game. But for a film studio to be like, okay, in order for this to work, it's got to be like 2-3 hour movies with like the most insane special effects and the perfect casting. And we got to write a script that's like really... And then to serve that up to the world to 10 million people who may or may not care about it or buy a movie ticket, like that's a tough business sell. And so there's an interesting media thing going on there where it's like, we have to like show the world through what? Trailers and hype and marketing that like, hey, you may not even know about this video game, but oh my God, it's going to blow your mind. Look how cool and sexy these characters are. Whoa, where are they now? How do you sell this epic film or films to a non-video game audience?
I think that has a lot to do with actually the landscape of what's going on in film. Like, for instance, it was probably a lot harder to sell a video game movie 20 years ago, even though they did get made, because they were mostly bad. I think if you're trying to sell a video game movie in 2026, you have a much better chance overall.
But I'm saying you got to sell
people succeeding with them.
You have to sell it as this is very fascinating to me. We're thinking about Fallout and Last of Us, where these other shows, that are by all accounts wildly successful. Yeah. So I guess I'm trying to understand, like, number one, how many people played The Last of Us in order to market this show to them? And then additionally, the thing that's more interesting to me is how can we also get the friends, the partners, the spouses, the kids of the people who love this game to also get invested in the TV version because they have no context for the show. And clearly Fallout and Last of Us achieved that.
Right.
This movie about French existentialism is going to be harder to get people in the gate.
That's not what you're selling, though.
Of course.
What you're selling is, I think you're selling the hook. And
what's
the hook? The hook is, these people only live a certain number of years because of this strange phenomenon that's happening. So I think the hunger for sci-fi and fantasy is higher. Like, that in the
This
literary
is true.
world, that like fantasy and romantasy is like going off.
This is all true.
Right?
Yeah.
So like if you're doing anything in that space, I think now, I mean, I would call Expedition 33 fantasy.
Mhm.
So I think it has a chance, and it does have some romantic strokes in it. But I think, yes, it would be a harder sell because of the complexity of the storyline. The complexity would make it would almost make the most sense to be two movies. And I don't know if it would be invested in, despite its great success at this point.
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
Despite how successful it was as a game, I don't know how it would go. It would be a challenging movie to make.
To put this another way, what does an IP need to be in order for it to make sense to make a Hollywood theatrical studio movie about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, I would have never thought Silent Hill 2 would ever be a movie, but they just made one. It's terrible, but they made it.
Is this a new thing? Is this recent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it came out in the last year.
Now, my question about it before we have to jump out of here is like, this is about budget. Getting a fog machine and a gun is a lot cheaper than making Expedition 33. You know what I mean? I'm being really reductive, obviously, but the budget of a Silent Hill movie is exponentially less than, Wicked or Star Wars or whatever, right?
Sure.
So it's okay if the movie doesn't. What I'm saying is, it's okay if a Silent Hill movie only reaches Silent Hill fans because there's enough of them. That's good enough. It doesn't need to reach mainstream popularity to make its money back.
I guess so.
I don't know.
I wonder if it made its money back. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, probably I would be curious too.
It got
but you're saying
very bad reviews.
Notwithstanding, right, the reviews are terrible, so it didn't please. It is a failure because it didn't please the fans, nor did it break into the mainstream. Yeah.
Right. Interesting. This is good stuff to chew on. I have a feeling that the Discord is going to have a lot of stuff to say about.
Yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about. In conclusion, make a Star Fox movie that's like a Top Gun Star Fox. Again, my most anticipated like big budget movie, which who knows if it will even happen, is a Star Wars movie. It's tentatively called Starfighter. It's with is it with Ryan Gosling? But it's basically Top Gun but X-Wings. And that
is actually being made.
It is in development and has been for in multiple iterations, I guess. It's on IMDb and it says it's filming. Who the fuck knows?
Interesting. Okay.
But it is the thing I want most out of Star Wars. Is like, I don't care what y'all are doing with lightsabers or fathers and sons battling out for the heart of the galaxy. I just wanna get in there and have these people do missions, and as they fly through space, they're like, do little quips. They're like, I got you. Oh, you got a guy on your 6. Watch out. That's it. That's the whole script. That's it. And then the rest is just explosions.
That's funny.
All right, I'm out of here. You're out of here. We had a quick one for you today. Thanks for listening. Tell us your movie wishes in the Discord, and we'll talk about it there.
Yes, please. Bye.